Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes. Round of applause. Have the black coffee here. You guys have just done a spectacular piece of business, able to secure Liverpool a small fee of £10 million for a player with a couple weeks, if that, left on his contract. Obviously, Madrid, they're only offering 1 million. For 1 million, what they put Liverpool through, it's just not enough, right? But they're going to pay Liverpool £10 million, yeah, for a player that's leaving in a couple of weeks, and they're covering all his wages as well. So, fantastic little piece of business. Obviously, in an ideal world, Trent would stay or Liverpool would secure like a big transfer fee, right? But, the club announces Frimpong just as Trent's leaving. So that was obviously a tactical decision by the club as well to kind of soften the blow with Trent. Trent news, Trent leaving, Trent going Madrid. Obviously for Madrid, it's probably a worthwhile move paying the 10 mil because the Club World Cup, it's a big competition. I wish Liverpool went in it. There's like £100 million on the line, or dollars, euros, whatever it is, but it's a significant sum, right? And they can bed the player in and have him fit into the side and kind of integrate him in, have him ready for pre-season. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense for Liverpool, makes a lot of sense for Madrid, and I think Liverpool did the right thing. Richard Hughes, Edwards didn't cave in, get a 1 million. 1 million, 1 million is a joke. 1 million gets you nothing in today's market, and you could tell that Madrid were kind of desperate for the player. They needed him, and to be able to secure that wonderful, wonderful piece of news for Liverpool fans, and big ups for Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards for securing that as well. And in other news, we'll go right into Goncalo Ramos getting linked to Liverpool. So here we got Goncalo Ramos is apparently being kind of linked to Liverpool. Sam Maguire. This to me, I get it from like just a market perspective, right? Because when you look in the market for like top strikers, first of all, strikers in today's kind of climate in the world, this seems to be more of a rarity. Also, if you do have a top striker, just because of how rare they are, how important they are to clubs, you have to pay big money, big fees. Clubs are not really kind of willing to let strikers go. But Goncalo Ramos here, he's kind of fell out of the pecking order with Paris Saint-Germain. They'd rather have three kind of inside forwards playing instead of having like an out and out striker. So his days are kind of numbered in Paris, and maybe if Liverpool could get like a low fee for him, maybe like 30, 40 million, if that. And maybe he might be worth the risk, right? Maybe they could turn him into that kind of player that PSG thought they were getting, because his goal record for Benfica was a madness. I mean, final season in Portugal, he scored 19, got 2 assists in 30 appearances. Maybe it could be like another Darwin Núñez situation where they thrive in Benfica, thrive in the Portuguese league, but they just can't quite cut it in Europe. I can kind of see why Liverpool would be kind of willing to risk it. I mean, his goal record's not like awful by any means, right? Like in League 22 matches, 10 goals, 3 assists. Season before that, I think he was more of a key starter. He got 11 in 29. So Liverpool might feel like they could just turn it up a little bit, and they might just be able to get like a top player there, convert him into like a top striker, and for like a low fee. And with how the kind of striker market is at the moment, they might look at it as a good calculated gamble. And I can totally see that perspective personally. Maybe I'd look to get a loan, maybe loan option to buy, see how it kind of works out, see if he's worth the risk. Otherwise, I'd much prefer Liverpool to go in, get like a top striker, like no messing about, like an Isak. I know Newcastle's not going to sell him, but a player of that ilk, personally. But it's a tricky market for strikers, and maybe you can get a loan, a really cheap fee, low wages, and the team, the analysts are in a slot. They see something there with Goncalo Ramos. It could turn out to be a great piece of business that pays off in the long term. Now, the next piece of news, we got Gerald Quansah here. Apparently, a lot of clubs are interested in him in England and Bundesliga. Liverpool want around 50 million. I think that's a little high. I don't think he's a £50 million player. He might have some potential there. On the clock, I think we all kind of thought this was going to be a top player. Someone's going to settle in nicely, maybe like a Van Dijk replacement in the future, which is not kind of worked out. I mean, he looks low on confidence. He's making a lot of mistakes. Maybe like a new environment, a fresh environment for Quansah could be worthwhile for him. He seems kind of happy being fourth choice at the moment. He hits that homegrown quota player, so obviously that might raise the price a bit. And he's obviously a valuable asset to Liverpool because he is a homegrown player, but he's just not looked that reliable. To me, it looks like he's not really kind of developed. He seems low confidence, so I think a move for all parties could make sense. I think 50 million is a bit unrealistic. I think more like 30 to 35 million makes more sense. I think that's more kind of reasonable kind of fee. Maybe add in a clause like a buyback clause or like a percentage profit clause, something like that, to be able to profit from it if he's able to kind of turn into that top class kind of talent and player that we all initially thought. So yeah, we'll get into the next piece of news as well. So the Diaz links just keep getting brought up. For a while it went quiet. Seemed like Diaz was happy at the club, but whether it's the Liverpool camp or the Diaz camp, one of these camps here, they kind of keen on pushing Diaz out. I mean, Saudi here, Al Nassr getting linked here, 85 million euros plus add-ons, but Ben Jacobs here saying an exit is by no means guaranteed, which I tend to agree with. I've said it before. I think if you do sell Diaz, I mean, you have to bring another left-sided forward. It might be kind of tricky in this market. I'm not really seeing any kind of good glaring opportunities to be able to replace Diaz. I think replacing Diaz will be tricky. I think he's a good player. I think there's something there with him. He puts up big numbers. He's a key component in that Liverpool side. So, but if he wants to leave and you can get 85 million, I don't think it'd be a bad piece of business. It seems like he wants to leave, probably wants bigger wages. I know he's on quite low wages at the moment. If you make him stay, maybe keep him on the 55 grand, let him go on a free, sell him next summer. But yeah, this is a tricky one. We're going to keep an eye on the space and see what Liverpool do, or whether Diaz kind of pushes a move for the out to leave the club. Anyways, super duper appreciate all the support. Make sure to like, comment, share, sub. I'll catch you guys in the next one.